and husky, I'm husky, fighting leaf and husky, I'm husky, fighting leaf and husky, yeah, that's me!
Sure, they like 'em now, but that ain't gonna last. To minimize the damage, we gotta work fast. This is what we gotta do to help the kids to get it. Now listen to my review, or you're gonna regret it.
Hi, Internet!
And welcome to You're Gonna Regret It with your hosts, Fighting Leaf and Husky the Wolf. I imagine some of you are wondering where the heck we've been for the past several months.
The short answer is trying to figure out what to do with this thing.
That's right, Cool Cat Kid Superhero. On the one hand, everybody and their grandmother has basically covered it, as it was ironically the cool thing to do for a while.
On the other hand, we know you guys like it when we suffer.
But now what do you do with a movie that's basically about nothing?
Burn it?
Not yet. No, right now, what we're going to do is ask ourselves a very fundamental question. Is Cool Cat actually cool?
No!
I hate everyone, I really do.
Nice try, Husky.
Aw, man!
First and foremost, though, we need to define our terms.
Ooh, I can help with that. It's when something about you is so awesome that people can't help but say, hey, I really like that about you.
That's step one of being cool. Step two of being cool is incorporating an element of danger of some kind, whether it's putting yourself at great risk and overcoming those odds, or about being dangerous yourself somehow.
Or both. That's why superheroes are so cool. They're always facing dangerous adversity and overcoming them, and they're usually pretty dangerous themselves. That makes them almost as cool as ninjas.
To recap, having something admirable or impressive about you, and having an element of danger are both required to be cool.
Can Cool Cat claim that coveted characteristic, or will he languish in Lower Loserville? Find out today on You're Gonna Regret It!
And now, without further ado, Cool Cat Kid Superhero. Now, full disclosure, this is less a movie and more a series of shorts edited together to reach feature length. And there are actually two main cuts of this film, the original being called Cool Cat Saves the Kids.
We have the newer cut, Cool Cat Kid Superhero, and boy does it start off with a bang!
Paint a picture, oh how I love to paint a picture. Makes me happy and it's so much fun, yay!
Riveting.
So that's Cool Cat, huh?
Yep.
Are we supposed to admire his extremely forced screams of yay, or his imaginary painting skills?
And this is something I only just noticed during editing. He's not even using a real easel to hold that thing. He's just leaning the painting against a tripod. This man stepping outside is the writer, director, creator Erik Savage, playing Cool Cat's father, Daddy Derek.
And yes, he was warned about how awkward it is being called Daddy Derek here.
According to interviews with the cast, Erik Savage had a kind of very dismissive attitude when it came to certain concerns on set.
Here's a decent example of that. When Daddy Derek goes to talk to him, Cool Cat says he wants to record a new rap song.
Cool Cat Rap Master!
Wow, that sounds cool.
The natural thing to do after painting a picture with no paint.
Now, by this point, Jason Johnson's portrayal of Cool Cat has become pretty iconic with the character. Now, see if you can pick up anything odd about this rap song.
Hip, hip, the hop, hop, hop. I got a story to tell you about the coolest cat.
Here's a hint. It's friggin' Daddy Derek doing the rapping for him. So he thought kids were too dumb to notice that, huh?
Now you can understand why we had to tackle this movie at some points. This is basically the whole it's for kids, it doesn't have to be good mentality taken to its logical extreme.
The worst part is that, yeah, it probably did fool some kids. Really dumb kids.
And it gets worse. Just take a listen to the actual lyrics.
So if you want to rap and be real cool, then think of Cool Cat and the rhymes will come to you. Some rappers talk about crime and violence, but the real OGs preach that peace is power.
His rhymes are so bad they make my face hurt.
And no, Mr. Savage, having some generic positivity buzzwords in your rap does not justify its existence. You want to know who did this sort of thing right?
Lazy Town!
Life is full of games.
Those 2 to 3 seconds we just played are already way better than anything you're ever likely to see in this movie.
Wait, come back, pink-haired freaky girl. I want real entertainment!
One last thing before we move on to the next short, Husky and I are just gonna quickly run through the actual events of this one. We start off with Cool Cat painting a picture.
Then Daddy Derek shows up. And then they sing a terrible rap song.
And then Daddy Derek throws away a water bottle, prompting Cool Cat to lecture him about the importance of recycling, so he gives Cool Cat the bottle to recycle properly.
And then Daddy Derek takes Cool Cat out on a motorcycle.
The majority of this sketch is made up with a bunch of and then statements, meaning that nothing really flows from one event to the next outside of that recycling bit.
And that only takes up about 1.5 minutes of this nearly 7-minute sketch. The rest is just fluff that has nothing to do with anything else.
This short actually sets the tone for the rest of the film perfectly, as the cinematography never gets better, nor does anything else, really.
The next sketch starts with a crossfade used to hide the cameraman's shadow left over from Cool Cat Saves the Kids.
And here's our hero making campaign posters for school president at his elementary school.
After talking to his posters like a weirdo, he gets a phone call.
Hello, this is Cool Cat. Who are you? And what's your name?
You are so funny. It's me, Maria.
Is it just me, or is Cool Cat trying to sound like a radio announcer? Hey, caller! Do you have any requests or suggestions? I could use them! Yay!
This actually turns out to be his friend Maria, played by Jessica R. Salazar, and she says it's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day.
Hi, Maria. I love it when it's pretty outside.
This line actually comes up a lot during the course of these shorts, which leads me to believe that either Daddy Derek wants to make this a thing,
Or he just couldn't come up with anything for people to talk about. Anywhoozle, Girl and Cat Freak go outside to make more Cool Cat propaganda when we run into their nefarious Butch the Bully, played by Connor Dean.
who actually seems to have trimmed down a lot since the recording of these shorts.
Good on you, kid. Stay awesome.
Here, though, he plays a really over-the-top, card-carrying villain character.
Boy, I feel like picking on someone.
And for his great big film debut, they edit him mid-word.
Do bullies usually just loudly declare their motivations like that?
I think Daddy Derek was going for some kind of fun, cartoonish villain in the same vein as Robbie Rotten or something.
This is exactly how I, Robbie Rotten, planned it.
The guy's my freaking hero.
Indeed. But as with everything, there is an art to the over-the-top crazy villain. For example, let's talk about motivation.
Robbie Rotten is a jerk, sure, but he's not just doing things because he's evil. He wants the town to be lazy so that he can better indulge in his own laziness. It's goofy and simplistic, but it's still something.
Butch's only known motivation is that he's bored. That and he loves being a bully.
I love being a boy.
He expresses this love of bullydom by sending mean text messages and crank calls to Cool Cat and Maria, then running away to graffiti one of their signs.
This obviously upsets them, but it's all better when Butch accidentally sprays paint in his own face.
What goes around comes around. That'll show him.
And that is a very dubious message to be sending to young children. I'm not even sure what kind of age range he's aiming for.
I say cut out the middleman and just rip their throats out yourself.
Yeah, have I ever mentioned that my videos aren't necessarily for children? After that, Butch looks through a recycling bin and finds more spray paint. Don't ask questions. And picks up a pair of minions.
They go off to spray some stuff because reasons!
Well, there is technically a reason this time around, but first, we need to learn that it's not cool to paint on people's walls.
And it's not cool to paint on someone's wall.
He's gotta stop him!
I'm gonna stop him.
Wait, what was that?
According to some admittedly unverified trivia I found on the internet, Mr. Savage didn't really like doing multiple takes on set.
That's dumb. Even we do multiple takes on our crummy internet show when we screw up.
Nah, it's fine, Husky. It's not like this movie wound up being famous for how terrible it was. In all seriousness, though, while this short has a lot wrong with it, it does at least try to touch on an important lesson about bully mentality.
So why do you want to paint the wall?
Because nobody loves us.
Yes, that is a reason kids do that stuff. But no child is ever gonna be so self-aware that they can just blurt it out.
I'm Cool Cat, and I love all kids.
Thank you for caring about us.
And no child is gonna just believe someone when they say something like that one time. And I get that they only have like 10 minutes to cover a complex issue, but this just ain't the way to do it.
I know because I love you. I'm Cool Cat, and I love all kids.
Plus, this comes out really creepy.
You can be anything you want to be. You just gotta work hard and make it happen. And that's a saying you can take to the streets. Yeah!
Oh boy, there's a lot of stupid with what he just said.
Look, Cool Cat, Scruff McGruff can talk about the streets. He's a hard-boiled detective who takes a bite out of crime. You are a hyperactive man-child with no volume control. You ain't hard.
I'll bet Jerry J has more street cred than this clown. They see me rolling, they're always hating. They keep patrolling to see me riding dirty. There's one more thing I want to look at before we move on. Take a look at what happens when Daddy Derek invites Cool Cat and Maria back into the house.
Come on, let's go get some lunch here, guys. You hungry, Maria?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll be a beautiful day with a nice lunch here.
And look what happens in a later short on their way to the car.
Come on, Cool Cat. Let's go to Hollywood. Have some fun here, buddy. You ready? Mm-hmm. All right. Here, I help you get in the car here. Was it locked?
And when they get back to the house at the end of the same skit.
All right. Let's go tell Mama Cat. Oh, what was that?
They're clearly ad-libbing, but they are bad at it.
It almost feels like Daddy Derek is afraid not to say anything while the camera's rolling.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we were a little harsh, but still. Script your dialogue or just cut out any unnecessary scenes for brevity's sake.
Speaking of unnecessary, Daddy Derek married a giant cat.
Okay.
I have questions.
And we're skipping them.
Okay.
Anyway, in this cut of the film, Mama Cat is voiced by Cynthia Rothrock, because Derek Savage didn't like that April Ann Reese didn't like Derek Savage hitting on her on set.
Wait, Cynthia Rothrock? You mean the Honor and Glory lady?
Yes, Daddy Derek cast a B-movie martial arts icon to voice a giant cat.
That's really weird.
You know what else is weird?
Thanks for the help in the kitchen.
Oh, you know I love to help you all the time, Mama. Get over and give me a hug.
I am uncomfortable!
Anyway, the next scene covers Cool Cat surfing the web.
Look at me! I'm surfing the web!
Yeah, that reaction would have been appropriate back in the late 90s,
But this was released in 2015 and again in 2018.
I'm a little bit worried about what kind of rock Cool Cat's been living under all this time, but it would go a long way to explain some things. Hey, Daddy Derek, can I come out now? It's cramped in here!
So he gets a string of mean emails, which he responds to like you're not supposed to, until one of them says,
I'm a bully and I'm gonna get you tomorrow? Oh no!
Butch the Bully's discovered the internet too.
And no, the short never goes on to explain what Cool Cat did wrong. It never says that you shouldn't answer these emails until possibly the very end of this movie, by which point the events of this scene are completely forgotten.
Then he goes off to Dreamland, which is depicted in this freaking dissolve thing. Then he starts talking about how to deal with in-person bullies.
That's a great way to stop bullying! Stand up for yourselves!
Wait, weren't you dealing with cyberbullies just now?
Yes, we were. And standing up to cyberbullies is very different from standing up to in-person bullies. This movie has no idea what it's doing.
Well, gosh golly gee willikers, Leaf, who's surprised?
The next scene starts off with Cool Cat doing his favorite thing, running downstairs. Fun fact, Jason Johnson actually couldn't see out of the suit that well, so running up and down stairs was always particularly dangerous to him.
But good old Daddy Derek made him do it anyway.
I agree.
A lot.
That in itself is not unusual. Directors are always making their talent do unpleasant things for the sake of a good shot. What is unusual about this one, though, is that running up and down stairs like that adds absolutely nothing to the film.
It's like a parking scene in a James Wynn flick.
Could it be? Yes, parking!
Anyway, back on task, this scene is dumb, so we're skipping it.
Cool Cat gets invited to the Hollywood Christmas Parade, which is pretty much a non-event there, but they play it up like it was the freaking Macy's Thanksgiving Parade.
And hey, I'm cool with it if you are.
No joke, I really did have to fight frequent gag reflexes whenever Daddy Derek said basically anything.
Everything about his performance is so fake and unnatural. It's like when your dad tries to fit in with your friends by acting cool. It's just embarrassing, man.
So after a pointless phone call, Cool Cat goes back downstairs and finds a lollipop.
Lollipop, lollipop, oh how I love a lollipop, 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 tastes so yummy.
Whoops, almost sang a copyrighted song there, and that's not cool.
But wait, I don't want candy, so bye-bye, lollipop.
Then he decides he doesn't want candy, but then why? And then he finds a camcorder and decides to make a reality show. I don't even care what's happening anymore.
Cool Cat then shows us what Mr. Savage wants to do to anyone else who threatens his brand. Okay, what does this accomplish?
I don't know, is he cool yet? Wasn't there something about a Hollywood parade? What's the point of all this? What does this have to do with fighting bullies or anything else this movie's supposed to be about? Leaf, I think I'm losing my mind!
Back sweat.
Huh? Oh my crap, I bet he smells like a locker room!
Now, this is where our good friend Daddy Derek starts showing off his real acting chops. Cool Cat wants to write a song for the Hollywood parade plot.
Daddy Derek types like a crazy person!
Now, I know what you're wondering. What does this song sound like?
I don't think anyone's wondering that. They've probably seen like a million reviews of this already.
Don't care.
Cool Cat likes to rock and roll. Cool.
Yep, that's what they're passing off as being Cool Cat's voice.
That sounds nothing like him! And the lyrics, all they are is Cool Cat is something or other. I mean, it's still way better than that rap song at the beginning, but they're both terrible! Makes me wish for the quiet dignity of the Wiggles.
Also, Mr. Savage really wants us to know that he has a guitar signed by Van Halen.
You sound so awesome on that Van Halen guitar.
It's autographed by the Van Halen band, and it was autographed back in the 1980s.
That makes me cool now, right, kids?
Watching this movie feels like watching some poor schmuck trying to convince people he's cool without any clue what he's doing.
And you know, him showing off his guitar might have worked if the song he just played was even remotely good.
But it's not! Nothing about this movie is good! Everything sucks! Cool Cat sucks! Daddy Derek sucks! The editing, cinematography, and acting all suck!
Okay, Husky, that's enough.
No, it's not enough! All this movie is just some guy in a cat costume dinking around pretending to be educational, and I'm sick of it! This is an insult to other shows and movies that do their best to be really good for kids. Blue's Clues, Puppet Rock, Sesame Street, even Barney the freaking dinosaur was better than this garbage.
Everything you're saying is true, Husky. That's why we're here. There are so many better shows for children out there, and shoddy work needs to be called out for what it is. To all of our viewers out there, we don't intend to tell you how to feel about a particular program or show or movie we cover. All we're trying to do is tell you exactly what to expect from this, and we're also there to entertain you and to express how we feel about it personally. We're also fully aware that there's more than one way to like something. But we've digressed long enough. Back to the film.
We're gonna skip the next song because it's also dumb and pointless. All you need to know about it is that...
It was cool, Cool Cat.
Leaf, I want to throw up too.
Stay strong, Husky. Stay strong. So finally, it's time to head to the Hollywood Parade. And was it worth it?
Well, we do get to see stuff like the DeLorean.
It's the Back to the Future car!
Back to the Future car. And there's a couple of Batmobiles. Those are pretty. Kill it with fire!
So with the parade officially underway, Cool Cat waves to the crowd, dances around some, and oh look, Erik Estrada exists. And then it's over.
Point, reason, logic, lesson, anything at all?
Much like all of the songs, the martial arts scene, and the Van Halen guitar, I'm pretty sure the Hollywood Parade bits were just thrown in here to help Cool Cat try to live up to his name a little bit.
We do get this scene, though, giving Butch the Bully a little bit of reason to be a jerk butt.
That parade's dumb. Cool Cat's the ugliest person in it. That's right.
That's almost something, right?
This movie is particularly hard to cover because, unlike almost every other film we've covered on this show so far, this isn't building up to anything. Even the shorts that do seem to have a little bit of plot just don't really have much point at all. Except this next one.
Plot, reason, story, plot!
Sort of.
Hey look, it's Erik Estrada again!
It's such a beautiful day.
Did Daddy Derek refuse to give you dialogue? Oh, that scamp!
Finally, we're about to start the short that justifies the very limited star power this movie wields. Cool Cat and Maria are heading to a cookout over at Vivica A. Fox's house.
She lives in a small jungle, apparently.
And there with her is Erik Estrada. Okay, most of this scene is just as terrible as the rest of the movie has been, but Erik Estrada just brings to it a special type of saving grace the rest of the film doesn't have.
Yeah, check this out.
Here we have Cool Cat dancing around like he has to pee, pretty standard.
Now listen to this.
How would you like an ice cold glass of lemonade?
Lemonade!
Lemonade!
Lemonade! Lemonade. And he ruined the moment with that extremely fake burp.
People speculate that Erik Estrada was drunk on set, and that's why he gives such a priceless performance.
There he is!
According to Jason Johnson, though, he was actually really nice to Jessica Salazar off camera. So there's a 50-50 chance that he was just weird.
There he is!
We don't have as much to say about Vivica A. Fox's performance since she doesn't really ham things up as much as Erik Estrada did.
What we can say is that Butch the Bully and Maria aged backwards between scenes somehow.
Here they are in the previous scene.
Hey, you bully! Cool Cat's going to be in the Hollywood Parade and you're not. And we're going to a movie star's house to have fun and you're not. Ha ha, go believe that. That's it! I mean, that's it!
And here's them in the current scene.
Oh, look at here. It isn't Cool Cat. It's Little Bully.
As far as I can tell, Mr. Savage had that last scene shot specifically for a Cool Cat Kid superhero, and just hoped that nobody would notice how much older the kids looked in this shot.
But Leaf, who would possibly notice that? They'd have to have something crazy like eyeballs or something.
So along comes the classic showdown where Butch picks on Cool Cat and Maria in the sandbox.
So, what were the grown-ups doing? Oh, nothing? Cool.
Now, in their defense, they do get up and intervene eventually. But by the time they do, that kid kicks sand in Cool Cat's face.
That kid kicks sand in Cool Cat's face!
That kid kicked sand in Cool Cat's face?
That kid kicks sand in Cool Cat's face. That kid kicks sand in Cool Cat's face.
That kid kicked sand in Cool Cat's face!
Don't judge me. It's about here where Erik and Vivica finally get up to do something, but Butch just melts into the shadows like some kind of bully ninja, making him clearly the most relatable character in this.
Now, do we have any educational experts in our audience? If so, does yelling at your bullies actually accomplish anything? Or does it just make them want to bully you harder since they got a rise out of you?
Growing up, all of my bullies were always smaller than me, and they hid behind the fact that I wasn't allowed to break their noses and thus get rid of their fun. If you want to really make a bullying PSA, address the fact that grown-ups can sometimes feel completely useless. Case in point. Erik and Vivica do literally nothing themselves to deal with Butch's return. In fact, they even stop themselves from interfering.
Here's a lesson for you kiddies. When it comes to bullies, you're on your freaking own.
Adults might give you some dubious advice, but that's about as far as it goes.
If screaming at your bullies doesn't work as cartoonishly well as this,
I'm gonna tell my mommy you yelled at me!
you are boned.
The next short after this is by far the best example of Daddy Derek's insufferable pandering to his child audience.
This is the part where Cool Cat finds a magazine on his doorstep with rules for a writing contest printed conveniently on the cover, since his fingers can't work the pages.
Just look at Daddy Derek's face when Cool Cat talks about the prize money.
The first prize is $100!
Wow! $100? That's a lot of money!
Leaf, I'm gonna puke for real.
Take it easy, Husky. Deep breaths. Now, I can't say for sure whether or not Derek Savage respects his audiences, but the fact is, he's really not convincing us right now.
What's this book even gonna be about?
Do you care at this point?
No, not really. I'm tired, I'm nauseous, and I want this stupid movie to be over.
Don't worry, Husky. Here's Cool Cat talking about what a beautiful day it is.
It's such a beautiful day!
Mr. Savage then helps fight child obesity by forcing this man in a fursuit to do squats.
Oh, good! Gotta work up more of that delicious back sweat. Leaf, I'm dying over here! I don't think we've ever seen a movie with this much padding in it.
Well, what about Beverly Hills Chihuahua 3?
No way, man. This has even that movie beat. I'm going out of my mind, man. I can't take this anymore!
Husky, hang in there. We only have 25 minutes left of this film.
Why do we have to do this movie anyway? Everyone else has already done it!
Because we are critics, Husky. This is what we do. Our fans want this from us. Need this from us. Not the world at large, but those people who tune in to all of our filler content, who leave us comments, who send us fan mail. As few as they are, this is for them. Plus, we're broke again.
What? Again? Oh, fine. So after brushing his teeth, he runs downstairs. And after running downstairs, these two act creepy again. And after they act creepy again, he eats breakfast. After he eats breakfast, he talks to these losers. And after he talks to these losers, plot finally happens!
This boy, whose part is so small I can't be bothered to look him up, almost gets hit by a car because he didn't look both ways before crossing the street.
So, is this short about traffic safety?
No.
Then what's it about?
Nothing.
Well,
After that, the radio announces that someone's out stealing candy from babies, then some bad-acting children reveal that it was Butch the Bully all along, Cool Cat crosses the street without looking both ways, and Butch gets arrested by a police officer who everyone wants me to acknowledge was played by a porn actor. Can you tell we're sick of this yet?
am I dead yet?
Well, no, but Daddy Derek's working on it. The kids then find a gun in his backyard.
Oh, wait, what?
I'm not kidding. Mr. Savage thinks that Cool Cat's saccharine camera mugging and Butch the Bully's card-carrying villain status are qualified to tackle the difficult topic of gun safety and possible school shootings.
Didn't he also try to kickstart a movie called Cool Cat Stops a School Shooting?
That's the word on the street.
Good crap, this guy is tone deaf. And look who's saying that! While out playing treasure hunters, Cool Cat and his not cool friends stumble across a revolver in his backyard.
They leave it alone to go tell an adult, which is one of the few correct things they do in this movie, by the way. But then Butch the Bully comes along and takes it for himself.
Cool Cat sees Butch take the gun, but when he suggests telling someone, this brain genius opens his mouth to say dumb words.
Hey, wait a minute. Isn't that being a tattletale? I don't want to be a snitch.
He has a gun. He is not your friend. He's apparently no one's friend. You should have no social compulsion to defend him whatsoever.
Luckily, even Cool Cat's not as dumb as this kid, and he and Maria insist on telling Daddy Derek.
Now, to his credit, Mr. Savage's performance is at its very best in this scene. He's not hamming it up as much, and he seems to take the phone call he makes to Butch's father rather seriously.
What ruins this is how Mama Cat's tail just kinda hovers in the background there, and this really goofy slow-mo walk they do on their way to school the next day. Cool Cat hard, yo.
Tryna catch me riding dirty, tryna catch me riding dirty. And with that, we finally reached the part that we've been looking forward to most. Time to wrap things up.
Oh, finally!
Butch shows off the gun at school like an idiot. Daddy Derek urges everyone to school. Porn Cop is back, arresting Butch and his cohort again. The problem is over. Everyone gathers around to talk about what we allegedly learned today. Boring grown-ups talk about stuff after the credits, and Mr. Savage shills some of his merchandise.
The end! Wow, shortest wrap-up ever.
Now, let's go back to that question we asked at the beginning of the review. Is Cool Cat cool?
No!
We've established that being cool means that you have to have some quality that makes you admirable and or dangerous feeling in some way. The coolest things Cool Cat attempts to do are rap poorly, sing terrible songs, stop children from performing petty crimes, and jump over candy. Beyond which, his normal speech pattern, while memorable, is grating and pandering at best. I don't blame Jason Johnson for this entirely. He apparently had to make up a lot of what Cool Cat did himself due to a lack of direction.
Hey, don't forget that he totally got to hang out with celebrities, too.
Yeah, no, that's not actually cool. That's what desperate losers do to try to convince other people that they're cool. All in all, given its troubled context, this feels like a cash-in vanity project whose only merit comes from people's ability to make fun of it.
And we're not knocking that.
Not at all. Whether ironically or not, this movie has still brought joy to lots of people all over the world, even if it's at its own expense. But if you're looking for something that's actually good for young children, that will actually, teach them anything meaningful, well, there's a lot of much better stuff out there.
For now, though, we have some serious projectile vomiting to get to.
Yeah, thanks a lot for that, Daddy Derek.
I hate everyone, I really, really do. I hate everyone, I hate them like a poop. I hate everyone and everything they do. Oh, I hate everyone and you.
This movie's stupid. It's really that bad. You made me watch it, and that makes me mad. It's like a pit stain that never erases. And when I find you, I will eat your faces.
This is a Patreon shout going out to Joy Jenkins, Megan Cloud, and Bashful Ivory. And just because I can, thank you also Matthew Connorth and Jordan Mathis for constantly supporting me through all of my ups and downs and sideways to get you new videos. If you want to support my channel, just click on the Patreon link in the description below and keep circulating these links. Also, check out my music maker, Steve Sharp. A link to his YouTube channel is also in the description below. Got anything you want to send me? Just send it to P.O. Box 82, Prospect, Kentucky 40059. Thanks a lot for your continued support, and stay awesome.
Me out, and she spanked my butt.